Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Worst thing to happen to street beggars was the invention of online payment options and the proliferation of credit and debit cards. Who carries cash anymore? We'll tell you more about it in our first story, guys. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Don't have cash? That's fine. I'll just take your card. I was getting gas once when I lived in Dallas when this guy comes up to me and says he needs money for gas so he can go pick up his daughter from school. Side note, it's 6 p.m., most schools let out between 3 and 4, but some kids stay late for extracurriculars, so I'm willing to give him a little leeway. I explained I don't carry cash, sorry, and he says that's fine, I can just hand him my credit card and he'll go into the store to pay for gas. No, I'm not giving you my card, dude. I asked him which pump he was parked at because I was willing to walk into the store myself and put $5 on the pump for his car. That's when he lost it and screamed at me, "Just give me your effing card, B!" And that's when I opened my car door and let my 130-pound Great Dane jump out of the car, scared the crap out of him, and he took off. P.S. My dog would pee on herself before actually hurting someone, but she looks very intimidating. She comes in really handy. And our second story. I replied with a simple, "Yep." Backstory for context. Manager position opened up in the large production factory I was working for. The bootlicker guy who worked as inventory control weaseled his way into the promotion to manager by promising the higher-ups that he could do both his job and the manager position. From this point, we'll call him BM equals bootlicker manager. BM bit off more than he could chew, so instead of admitting he needed help, he dumped most of his inventory control work onto the receiver. After a few weeks and false promises, the receiver went on stress leave, stomach ulcers, the whole nine. While he was gone, BM let things go. Eventually, the inventory control position opened back up, and I was handpicked by the higher-ups and not BM to fill the position. Boy, did he ever leave a mess. Once the receiver came back from sick leave, him and I doubled down and cleaned up the mess, unintentionally exposing BM's laziness and incompetence in the process. After some time, I learned that BM was lying to upper management, taking credit for my work. I had suspicions because he wanted all emails to and from upper management to go through him first. This was a problem because I was trying to justify the raise I was supposed to get by working hard and getting things done properly and on time. Obviously, this created some tension between us. Now, I didn't go over his head or give up because I knew if the things I did didn't get done, I'd be thrown under the bus by BM for holding up production and costing the company tens of thousands in downtime, delays, and wages. That was until one day he thought he would show off by CCing upper management on an email where I offered to fix a problem, something I did as my normal duties, unbeknownst to upper management. BM thought he would show off by offering to complete the important task and told me in the email to focus on my job and not his. He reported I did a lot less than I actually did as to prevent me from getting a raise and to make himself look good. So that's what I did. I washed my hands of it and focused on other aspects of my actual job. I enjoyed it because I was able to get caught up on other things that weren't as a high priority compared to the task BM offered to do. I almost forgot about it until a few days later when BM called me out to the yard where workers loaded product onto rail cars. "Why hasn't this been redesignated to finished goods?" BM snaps at me in near panic. "I don't have the tracking records or any cycle counts on it, so I'm not sure." "Well, this has to ship today. Why hasn't it been done?" "You told me not to, and that you'd do it." "I'll figure it out then." So I went back to the office and watched what he was doing to the inventory numbers on my computer. Not only did he forget to do what he said, he apparently forgot how. I then let my receiver friend in on the entertainment, and sweet karma. Suddenly, I get copied on an email from the head of sales and the plant manager. Shipping manager complained about the delays, saying his guys were standing around and that the train had to be loaded within the hour. BM was in deep crap. This product was a special order to make up for a messed up order, not my fault, from previously, and the customer could not afford any more delay. If the product didn't get there on time, they were going to cancel the contract and our company would be out over $100 million a year. BM tried to throw me under the bus in his reply. The higher-ups then forwarded the email where he said he'd take care of it from a few days prior and follow by asking if I could help. I replied with a simple, "Yep." I turned to the receiver, who had reports from when the product was brought in, and that combined with the small amount of records I had from when I assumed I was doing the work, dropped my other projects and got to work. I made a point to call out BM on the mistakes he made, acting as if I was trying to clarify whether this product was to be handled differently. He didn't respond. I stayed an extra 2.5 hours that day and even helped the shipping manager load the product because everyone else had gone home by then. I loaded product for shipping before I became inventory controller. I emailed the higher-ups when I was done, and they thanked me profusely. The next day, I was called into a meeting to discuss my responsibilities, as there had been some sort of miscommunication from BM. I explained my workload, and the whole time BM sat there looking like a dog with his tail tucked between his legs. I'd like to say I got my raise after that, but I didn't. BM promised to do more, but didn't actually follow through. However, this incident did open up the door of communication between myself and upper management. No longer was BM able to take credit for what I did, and he couldn't hide it when he enlisted me to do the work he was supposed to. He started singing a different tune. No longer was he the superhero who could do 2 jobs at once, and there was a lot more equality. It was almost as if I didn't answer to him anymore. I eventually quit that job because I never received the raise I expected. And our last story. You're replaceable. Okay, bye. I worked for a company for just under 5 years. The company I worked for existed for an additional 10 years prior to me. While I worked at this company, it ballooned to be the #1 provider in the region for its unique service with about 75% of the market. It was a small business of about 15 employees. I loved my job, and the skills I learned while working there were quite valuable. I loved my team and the clients we provided services for. My twice-yearly reviews with the owner were always 10 for 10 with no recommendations for improvement. I was exceptional at my job in every way. I handled company operations, HR, payroll, customer service, marketing, employee management, schedules, employee and client training, and many other things at this company. I was also able to step in and do any of my teammates' jobs if they were out sick or on vacation. The owner of the company was giving out a bonus late summer last year, and mine, while being more than previous years, was notably less than my teammates. I asked owner, "Are the bonuses related to performance? And if so, what could I have done to earn more?" Owner replied, "The bonuses are not performance related. You were just more replaceable than the others." "Oh, okay," I replied, and proceeded to process each of the bonuses, then went to lunch. I called my spouse to gain wisdom and advice. I was pretty lit, but didn't want to make a rash decision. My spouse is very intelligent, and while they're not a fortune teller, they have the ability to foresee various responses and all of the potential outcomes. They're also business-wise and have been on the executive team of a large company for the past 21 years, while also serving on several community boards and business advisory boards. We decided together to continue forward with our scheduled vacation and use the time away to calm our minds, relax, have fun, and also determine the best course of action for me. We were leaving after working one more day, so I worked like all was normal the rest of the day and the following day, then left on vacation. While we were away, we discussed several scenarios, the potential outcomes, consulted with a business advisor and a business attorney. With all the advice I received, I determined that upon my return from vacation, I would resign from my role with a 2-week notice. However, in a fit of rage, I was immediately terminated by the owner, which was one of the scenarios we thought would happen, so I was prepared for the owner's poor reaction. During the next couple weeks, I created and opened a competing business offering similar services. However, I offered more customizable options with higher quality service and results. I knew our clients wanted these options and had proposed said options several times at old workplace, but was never green-lighted to implement the changes for no reason other than the owner didn't come up with the idea, so it was a stupid idea. I also maintained communications with a few people from my old team. My old team did not relay the day-to-day happenings at my previous workplace, and I never asked about the company. However, they would vent to me on occasion. I'd listen without comment. I knew service, quality, and the work environment in general suffered since my departure. Morale went down and clients were less satisfied. I also read the Google and Facebook reviews for old company. Yikes. Additionally, 2 full-time and 1 part-time person was hired to fill my role, and a portion of my responsibilities, like HR and payroll, were filled by outside companies. I quickly built up my business, and within 3 months was able to hire several of my old teammates. They were able to jump in on day one with minimal training as they were the best employees at my old workplace. The quality of previous workplaces' offerings continued to fall, which sent additional businesses my way and quickly caused incoming work to be non-existent at old workplace. My old workplace went from being the #1 provider of unique service in the region to nothing in a matter of months. My previous employer is now searching for gainful employment. I know this because over the weekend, owner applied for a position at my spouse's company. Side note, I think my spouse's company should bring my previous employer in for an interview. When they arrive, surprise, I'm the interviewer and all I say is, "How replaceable am I now?" My spouse, rightfully so, has said, "No." Moral of the story, don't tell your employees they're replaceable because they might create a competing business that's better than yours, while taking your best employees and your clients, which will leave you with no business to sell. Owner's whole retirement plan was to sell business and starting all over by searching for employment under someone else. Looks like your company was replaceable, not me. Boss tells you you're replaceable. Also, boss gets angry when you decide to leave and he has to replace you. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.